Bring in trial attorney and legal analyst Misty Marris now to talk about both of these high-profile cases in Delaware and New York. Misty, good morning to you. Let's start with Hunter and pick up where Kelly left off. His attorneys argue that the statute that he is charged with violating, a ban on gun possession for a drug user, is unconstitutional. How so?
Right now, the state of the law with respect to these types of charges is really in flux. This happened after the Bruin case. If you remember, back in 2022, the Supreme Court came down with a decision that largely expanded gun rights across the country. It really turned the law on its head. So now these individual statutes are being challenged, and they're being challenged in several different jurisdictions. Most recently, a case in the Fifth Circuit found that a law was unconstitutional. It related to marijuana use, and it said that if the reason for not allowing someone to get a gun was drug use only or prior drug use, that was unconstitutional. That was not enough. So that's one case. Another case scheduled to be heard in the 11th Circuit, and the Supreme Court scheduled on November 7th to hear argument on a potential another relevant case. So this area of the law is really being developed in the wake of that Supreme Court decision.
Well, and as I read it, Misty, they also cite Hunter's defense, a Supreme Court decision last year expanding gun rights. What did the high court say in that case?
So that's the Bruin case. That's the one we're speaking about. It relates to the Second Amendment, and basically that it said that a lot of the laws that prohibited Americans from obtaining guns across the country were unconstitutional, and that concealed carry was all shifted on its head, and so gun rights were expanded tremendously. And so now statutes are being challenged in various jurisdictions, and the law of the land is now being developed. So it's a very novel legal argument that his attorneys are raising, and it's truly one we don't necessarily know the answer to at this moment because that law is being developed. I absolutely expect his attorneys to raise that in today's hearing.
Okay, understood. Thank you for answering that twice. One issue for the prosecution will be, can they establish that Hunter Biden was actively using drugs in that 11-day span that he had the gun? Why might that be important?
That's going to be important because it all comes down to whether or not he was not truthful on that application. That's the crux of this case. So if they can't establish drug use during that time frame, then certainly that's going to really undercut the prosecution's case. However, if the law is found to be unconstitutional, none of those factual aversions really matter in the grand scheme. And so I would expect that at least through November 7th, when we expect the Supreme Court to decide on more, give more clarity on the recent Bruin decision and potentially expand rights even further, that's going to be something that the defense will raise, because until that case is heard, Hunter Biden is not going to want his case to go forward if the law is deemed to be unconstitutional.
Right, and he also had planned to plead guilty to tax charges. The question being, might he still be charged there? But I got to put a pin in that because Trump's also in court in New York, as I mentioned, civil fraud trial. We heard him just a moment ago before he entered court for the second day. First witness testified on day one about the preparation of financial statements dating back to 2011. The judge raised the question about statute of limitations. Trump seemed pretty happy with that as he headed out of court yesterday. What will you be expecting today on that front?
So that statute of limitations issue is very, very important. This issue had already gone to the appellate division in New York, and the appellate division said that the statute of limitations excludes anything prior to 2014. So the witness you're referring to, Donald Bender, he was on the stand, and he's testifying about documents relating back to 2011. So presumably any documents and conduct between 2011 and 2014 could potentially be thrown out on that statute of limitations argument. The prosecution, or excuse me, the Attorney General, it's not prosecution because it's civil, the Attorney General has made the argument that although the documents and testimony relates back to 2011 and before 2014, it is connected to conduct that is within the proper time frame. So it's going to be really interesting as Bender continues to testify, because he's a very critical witness. This case is going to come down to very technical arguments related to accounting and related to how properties are valued. So he's very critical in this case, and we're going to be listening for potential exclusions. What could this testimony actually come to fruition with respect to a determination, or will a lot of it be scrapped because of that statute of limitations issue?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.